Twins and the White Sox split a doubleheader yesterday. Minnesota won the first game and Chicago came back to win the second. They'll play just one tonight. It's the third in this 4-game series at Target Field. Jake Odorizzi is looking for a bounce-back start after giving up 7 earned runs in 3 2/3 innings last week against Cleveland. Former Twin Hector Santiago hasn't been able to get much going this season. Not a great last start for him, and overall the season ERA 6.59. This Twins White Sox series on Fox Sports North is presented by North Dakota Tourism. Summer is short, fun is closer. Visit us at NorthDakotaLegendary.com. Good evening from Target Field. I'm Marnie Gellner. The Twins are trying to get something rolling here. They've got a little momentum built, and they've gotten a big boost from the bat of Eddie Rosario. Now, Rosario is an unconventional hitter in that he can seemingly hit a pitch no matter where it comes across the plate. Rosario hit 3 home runs on Sunday, and not one of those pitches was a strike. He's got a total of 6 home runs this season on pitches from outside of the zone, 26 total hits from outside the zone. That leads all of baseball. Twins hitting coach James Rowson talked about Rosario's uncanny ability.
When you talk about plate discipline, it becomes one of those things where you're always saying, hey, swing it, swing at pitches that are over the plate. I mean, our concept is to look for good pitches that you can drive. Let your body tell you what you should do. If you think you're in a good position to hit a pitch, it may be, above the zone or maybe below the zone or in or out. I mean, it just depends on how you feel when you get to that pitch. And Rosie, we let his athleticism play. So he's free up there to do what he wants. If he doesn't think he can drive it, take the pitch. If he thinks he can drive it, create your own strike zone. Swing at balls you think you can drive, because it'll kind of free you up to do what you think is most comfortable.
Rosario has done his part to help carry this Twins offense, but he's not the only guy. Eduardo Escobar has also given this team a pretty big boost. How Escobar has become double trouble for opposing pitchers right after this.
Link, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by Northland Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today.
Only one game today. It's game 3 between the White Sox and the Twins. Twins hoping to get back into the win column, and it's another beautiful day here at Target Field. Dick Bremer along with Bert Blyleven to put Eduardo Escobar's start to his season in perspective. The club record for doubles is 47, set about 10 years ago by Corey Koski. Got over 100 ball games left, and Eduardo Escobar is already half the way there.
Tell you what, Eduardo is fun to watch. You know, we talk about his leadership off the field, but when he is playing with that bat in his hand, he's a professional hitter. 23 doubles, a lot of extra base hits for Escobar, a guy that brings a lot of enthusiasm to the ballpark with him, and he's producing, and that's the main thing.
And Escobar has helped make up for the loss of Sano for a while, Buxton and some of the other big hitters in the middle of the Twins lineup that they've had to play without. Now for the White Sox, everybody knows they're rebuilding, and it looks like they got some key components to what could be a good ball club down the road. Yolmer Sanchez is having a good year himself.
Yeah, you know, Sanchez came up about 5 years ago, kind of a utility type player, but last year he got to play 141 ball games. He had 267, 12 home runs. Well, in yesterday's doubleheader, he kind of punished the Twins a little bit. This guy can play. Good switch hitter, and now playing at third base for the White Sox.
This is the second 4-game series the Twins have had with the White Sox. They took 3 out of 4 in Chicago. They'd like to take 3 out of 4 in Minnesota. It's the start of a big 24 hours for the Twins when we come back. And Jake Odorizzi takes the mound as the Twins hope to get back in the win column, and Odorizzi hopes to recover from a very disappointing start when he made a start in the first game of this homestand against the Cleveland Indians. He had a terrible time from the first at bat on and had his shortest start as a Twin. And Rick Renteria took the job knowing what was going to be ahead of him, a rebuilding plan. And there have been some bright spots and some down spots, of course, but as we said when we were in Chicago, I think he's the perfect man for what the White Sox need right now.
Yeah, I talked to him this afternoon. Very patient man, knows what his goal is, and that's get these guys hopefully to postseason in the near future.
And he's got some bright spots in that lineup. Yoan Moncada is the leadoff man. Then Sanchez, Jose Abreu, Matt Davidson, Kevin Smith, Tim Anderson, Adam Engel, Charlie Tilson, and Trace Thompson.
Tonight's starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture. And that's Jake Odorizzi making his 13th start of the year, his second against the White Sox. He pitched in Chicago back on May 3rd, got a no decision. Yeah, Sox ended up winning that ball game 6-5.
And we saw yesterday Fernando Romero in the first game of the doubleheader rebound from a disappointing start he had in Kansas City, and so now Odorizzi will try to do the same thing. He had a terrible time with Francisco Lindor, who doubled and hit a 3-run home run against Odorizzi in the first few innings. So the hope is he'll get Moncada and take off from there. Chop foul, 1 strike. Moncada a switch hitter, Sanchez a switch hitter.
Yeah, game 1 yesterday with Romero on the mound. Moncada took it straight away center for an early 1-0 lead.
Moncada fouling one off his foot. Nice way to start his night. Odorizzi gave up 3 runs in the first inning to Cleveland, then 5 more in the 4th. And the Twins came back, but the comeback came up short. They lost that game, then won the last 3 games of the Cleveland series. 1 strike to Moncada.
Slider down and in. No, away. Fastball away.
You would have done that, wouldn't you? Going right back in there again.
Heck yeah.
Sadist. 2 strikes to Moncada.
If you have not seen Odorizzi pitch, he's a fly ball pitcher. A lot of fastballs up in the zone, mixes in a lot of different pitches, and on 3 pitches, he picks up a strikeout.
A 3-pitch strikeout, 1 down. Sanchez will bat, but a look at the Northland 4 defense for the Twins with Lamar in center, Kepler in right, Rosario in left. And then Escobar, Adrianza, Dozier, and Sano, the infielders. Logan Morrison still not in the starting lineup, might be available off the bench. More on that later. And then Mitch Garver behind the plate. 1 down, and now Sanchez. Just outside, ball 1. The Indians lost 3 straight here, and then they went home and had a quick 2-gamer with Milwaukee. They won last night and again today behind Carlos Carrasco 3-1. 1-0 to Yolmer Sanchez. And now a strike.
Odorizzi not overpowering. He's not going to throw 95, 96. He has to hit his spots, and that, I think that's the thing that upset him in his last outing. He just could not really make the adjustment. We'll try to find out how he does here this evening.
Dribbled up the line, foul. And it is 1-2. Well, in his defense, the Indians at the time were really rolling with the bats. And Lindor cracked a double, and a lot of other unfortunate things happened to him, but most of it centered around Lindor's at bats, who again got a double, and a 3-run home run against Odorizzi. 1-2. Just outside, 2-2.
Let's take a look at the Pizza Ranch. What Twins going to win tonight? Well, Odorizzi, we're talked about making adjustments. See if he can do that tonight that he had trouble with in his last start. Other than that, he's been very consistent.
To the right side, easy play for Dozier.
And a good changeup right there.
2 down.
Now, one thing about Odorizzi too, he's not going to go deep into the ball game. He's gone 6 innings 4 times. That's it. You know, he throws a lot of pitches in a short amount of time. It's kind of been his career that way, averaging about 18 to 19 pitches per inning.
And they'll bring up Abreu with the bases empty. That's always a good idea because this guy is one of the top run producers in the game. White Sox got a first inning run, 1 run in the opener yesterday, then 4 runs in the first inning in the nightcap. So Odorizzi, in addition to exercising his own demons, he'd like to put some zeros up early and give the Twins lineup a chance to score some runs. The first runs of the game.
Yeah, that pitch at 82 miles an hour.
And now off the plate, 1-1.
That one at 85. Again, I'd say he reminds me a lot of Brad Radke, you know, with his control. He's usually very good control for Odorizzi over his career, averaging 3 walks per 9 innings. This year, about 3.7 walks, so that's up a little bit.
Check swing with a strike, and it's 1-2.
That's the curveball, so he went slider, looked like curveball. He's yet to throw the fastball yet.
11 pitches, 8 strikes. There was a fastball.
It's a fastball, just a bit high.
He changed his eye level on that.
Garver's too. Odorizzi getting traded over to the Twins from the Rays, Tampa Bay Rays, back on February 18th.
Bounced foul. Yeah, you're right. We've seen a lot of off-speed stuff from Odorizzi.
Well, he features a fastball. He trusts his fastball. Again, a high fastball pitcher. He has that splitter called the Thing that he learned from Cobb when they were teammates. Alex Cobb, a left-handed pitcher, teammates with the Rays. They're going to go fastball in.
Got him. Up and in. A swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts in a 1-2-3 first inning. A scoreless first for the first time in this series so far, at least. Paul Molitor hoping the Twins can score first against Hector Santiago as they did in Chicago. Here's the Menards batting order for the Twins. Dozier leading off, Eddie Rosario second, Escobar third, Kepler fourth, Sano fifth. We'll tell you why in just a moment. Grossman sixth, then Mitch Garver, A-Ray Adrianza, and Ryan Lamar. Facing former Twin Hector Santiago. Up and away, ball one. Second time that Santiago's faced the Twins this year.
And tonight's starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture. Hector making his 7th start of the year, his 17th appearance overall.
Strike called 1-1. His earlier outing against the Twins in Chicago, the Twins banged them around, took a lot of walks, scored 3 runs in the first, and knocked them out a couple innings later.
Yeah, gave up 8 earned runs in 3 1/3 innings, highlighted by Rosario's 2-run home run in the 3rd inning.
1-2 to Dozier.
There are the numbers.
6 hits, 6 walks, and 3 1/3 innings. Ahead of Dozier now, 1-2. Lifted, foul. The White Sox have found out what the Twins learned very quickly about Santiago. He is much more effective against right-handed batters than left. He had a terrible time getting left-handed batters out when he was with the Twins, and the same is true again this year with the White Sox. Dozier chops it up the line, foul.
Yeah, opponents hitting 273. Left-handers are hitting 317 off of Hector Santiago. Right-handers hitting 261.
Last year, as a Twin, left-handed batters hit 478 against Santiago, not 378, 478, and right-handers hit just 211. perplexing.
One thing he will do, he dropped down right there, fastball just missing.
Close pitch, 2-2.
Talked to pitcher coach Don Cooper here before the ball game, and they were talking about Santiago. He kind of got away from that screwball. He's kind of eliminated there. There's a former Twin. Pitch for the Twins back in '81.
There's the inside corner. Dozier takes a call, third strike.
He pitches well inside, and then they'll try that changeup away. So strikeouts come early. Odorizzi picked up a couple, and Santiago picking up one.
One down, and now Rosario, who, as Bert mentioned, hit a 2-run home run against Santiago in Chicago.
Yeah, Rosario actually 3 for 3 off of Santiago with a triple and a home run.
On the ground, hit right to the first baseman Abreu, and Santiago is there, and Rosario quickly retired, 2 down. And before Escobar's at bat, our Northland Ford defense, Charlie Tilson can cover some ground in left field. So can Engel in center, Trace Thompson in right. Sanchez, Anderson left side of the infield, Moncada and Abreu on the right side, and Kevin Smith doing the catching.
Yeah, 41 errors for the Chicago White Sox. Only the Texas Rangers have made more errors. They have made 50 on the season so far.
Another day full of doubles for Escobar, and then a 3-run home run late in the first game. 23 doubles, and again the club record is 47, set by Justin Morneau. And the Twins, counting tonight, have 105 games left. Fouled away, 1-1.
We've already seen Santiago, what he'll do. He'll give you different arm angles. He'll throw that big slow curveball that was able to get Rosario out on one pitch. He'll come in both sides of the plate. It looked like a slider right there that like Hector slipped a little bit on the mound.
A little upset with himself. I think he, as you said, slipped and then kind of pawed at the dirt where his right foot landed. 2-1. And another foul, 2-2.
He made 25 starts in the 2 years he's with the Twins back last couple of years. 1 relief appearance, won 7 games, lost 14, an ERA of 5.6. Had some back issues last year that put him on the shelf.
3-2 with Kepler on deck.
He's basically looking for a job this winter. He signed late in February with the White Sox to a minor league contract, made the club out of spring training.
Driven to the right field corner. Thompson going back. That ball is high off the wall, and guess who's got another double? Number 24 to lead all big league players, and that'll bring up Kepler.
Well, it seems like every time I write in my book next to Escobar's name, it's a double.
But you know what's nice, and we touched on it last night. Here he is tonight, a right-handed batter, and the double goes to the opposite field. And last night or yesterday, a couple of doubles as a left-handed batter that went to the opposite field too.
He sees the ball well. He lets it get it deep into the strike zone, and then he's making very good contact right now. High off the wall. Thompson knocking it down, and Escobar gets into scoring position with 2 outs.
Kepler at the plate. Ordinarily, you would see the right-handed slugger like Sano hitting cleanup and Kepler hitting behind him. But because of the extreme reverse splits for Santiago, Paul Molitor's gone the opposite way. Hasn't gone by the book at all, but rather looking at the intel and hitting Kepler 4th and Sano 5th.
And Kepler's hit left-handers very well this year.
A little doink near the Chicago dugout, and 1-1 the count. See what he's done. Hit left-handers just about 100 points higher than right-handers so far. 1-1 to the Twins right fielder.
See Smith going through a set of signs with a runner at second.
Breaking ball missing inside, and it's 2-1. And as we pointed out, it's not just the batting average for Kepler against lefties, it's the slugging percentage. He's picked up A lot of extra base hits against lefties. 7 doubles, 4 home runs, a .649 slugging percentage against lefties. And he takes over for a strike. Now that might have been the changeup, and that might have been one of the reasons why he has struggled against lefties. Some lefties are hesitant to throw that pitch to a left-handed batter, but here he threw it.
Well, I see the assortment of pitches that Hector has. I mean, you need a catcher with 6 fingers.
Down and away, 3-2 with Sano on deck.
And Santiago made the club this year basically out of the bullpen. He's kind of in the rotation because they've had some things that have not worked out. Carson Fuller just did not pan out. He's down in the minor leagues, their #1 pick. Carlos Rodon just recovering from shoulder surgery. Miguel Gonzalez on a disabled list, sore right shoulder.
That's just foul wide of the bag.
So those were 3 starters. I know that Rodon still recovering from shoulder surgery, but 2 or 3 starters that they were hoping would be in the rotation. So Hector was in the bullpen. He was pitching pretty well out of the bullpen, but as a starter for the White Sox, 6 starts. He's got an ERA of 6.59, 1-2 record.
21st pitch coming up. Santiago to Kepler, and it's a 3-2 count. And again, Sano is on deck. And he takes ball 4, and Sano has a chance to do some damage here in the first inning. Sano was here early, as I was here early, but he was doing more important things than I was. I was here watching him hit off a tee. Rudy Hernandez put a tee on home plate and asking him to hit the ball around the field and move the tee around. And incredibly, Sano hit a ball that was motionless on a tee up there someplace. The upper deck in right field, about halfway between the Super America sign and the top row of seats in the upper deck in right center field. It was, even though the ball wasn't moving, it was the most impressive thing I think I've ever seen, to hit a motionless ball that far. And for those of you who sat up there, you know how far that is from home plate.
That's a poke. Let's see if Santiago can put it on a tee right here.
And strike 2 is called. And the point, of course, is, you know, if anything should convince Sano he doesn't need to pull off the ball, it would be watching what he can do if he just hits the ball to the opposite field. 0-2. Strike 3. And Sano takes 3 pitches and leaves 2 aboard in the first. 10 of them now since 2017.
That's a great throw right here. Now it's Abreu running from second to third, but watch the one hop right to Escobar, and Abreu is tagged out for the final out of the inning. Great throw.
And so now we move to the second inning, and Matt Davidson will lead things off, then Kevin Smith and Tim Anderson. Down and away, ball one. Odorizzi breezed through the first inning, picked up a couple of strikeouts, just 14 pitches.
That'll be the key for Jake. Try to get some quick outs so he can get deeper into the ball game.
Very high, and it's 2-0.
Odorizzi, 28 years old. Originally the #1 pick by the Milwaukee Brewers back in 2008 out of Highland High School in Illinois.
Swing and miss. Something about that high fastball at 90 miles per hour that at times makes it unhittable. Now that wasn't the case against the Indians. They were ready for that pitch and hammered a lot of them for extra base hits.
Well, he wasn't getting his secondary pitches over either. It seemed like he was behind an account a lot. There's a good fastball there at 90.
Two and two now to Davidson.
Such a difference in this level if you go 2-1 rather than 1-2. You know, your hitter is on the offense. If you're behind an account,
Ground ball hit right to the shortstop Adrianza.
if you're in the head account, you're a little more on the defense.
One down in the second, and somewhere here at Target Field is Marnie Gellner.
In the camera well, of course, Dick. I have our scoop from the clubhouse. Logan Morrison is significantly better today. His lower back had locked up on him yesterday, and he hopes to be back in the lineup tomorrow. Byron Buxton's progress, on the other hand, is pretty slow. He's still experiencing pain in that left big toe, and he has not started any baseball activities yet. Joe Mauer worked out on the field today. He took batting practice with the team, and when he is ready to play again, that is staying in the ballpark, he might have to go on a rehab assignment because, as Paul Molitor pointed out, as the one thing Joe hasn't done yet is play a baseball game, and to play in a 9-inning game especially. So the Twins want to make sure that none of the stimulus, none of the environment has a negative effect on him when he gets to playing games. Guys.
Thank you, Marnie. First of all, on Morrison, I'm going to take it as an encouraging sign that he has eye black on. He did not have eye black on last night, so he's got eye black on, so to me he's available to play. Why else would you put it on unless you're ready to play a ball game?
Hey, I used to put that on between starts just to sit there.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
You know, Bobby Valentine did that too.
Yeah.
Wearing wristbands and all that. I often wonder, why would a manager need wristbands? But that's another story for another time.
Yeah, one time I wore the catcher's mask the whole game.
Did you?
Oh, the next day my neck killed me. I don't know how those guys do it.
One strike to Tim Anderson. Regarding Buxton, yeah, the progress is slow, but I can tell you this. For the first time in, I think, 3.5 weeks, I saw him smile today. And that's an encouraging sign. Even when he was playing, you could tell that things were bothering him because he wasn't smiling and happy. And 1-1 to Anderson. And a foul back 1-2. And regarding Mauer, he took batting practice on the field with a group, with members of a group today for the first time, and he said it's kind of nice to be seen again because so much of what Joe has done has been done privately when the team is on the road or before the media comes to the ballpark. 1-2 to Anderson.
See if Anderson chases that high fastball.
Breaking ball gets a swing and a miss, and a couple of 1-2-3 innings for Jake Odorizzi. Twins and Mitch Garver and A-Ray Adrianza.
Yeah, I like the little segment they did on Robbie Grossman in our pregame about what a DH has to go through. It Robbie finds himself having to go through to get ready for a ball game, and you know the time in between at bats for a DH. What do you do with that spare time?
Paul was a really good one, but he will admit to having a bit of a transition to make into the DH spot. Grossman takes a strike, and it's 0-2. And Grossman with a grimace and a grin at the same time. I'm real happy with CB Buckner's strike zone. I don't think Dozier was happy, and neither was Sano. And now outside, and it's 1-2.
I'll be swinging a bat, boys. Let's go. CB Buckner behind the plate. He's been an umpire for 20 years. This is his 20th season.
Missing inside, and it's 2-2.
Could you tell I pitched for a living? By that
you seem to lean toward a preference of a wider strike zone.
Let's go.
Fouled away. Garver on deck. Now low. Twins only led at the very end of the first game yesterday. And it's uphill running when you're ball right at the bottom tier of the strike zone. 3-2 on the ground up the middle and a base hit. So Grossman's aboard with a leadoff single.
It looked like Santiago wanted to come back in like he did against Dozier and Sano, but Robbie opened up quickly. It's a second hit for the Twins.
So the designated hitter gets a single, Marnie, and we might be seeing more and more of Grossman in that DH spot with all the injuries.
Well, and he's done a pretty good job holding that spot down too, and it's the routine that he kind of keeps tweaking. And right now Grossman said he's not even taking BP on the field with the team, which is a little unusual, but he had done that previously and said felt like when he came to the plate he had taken too many swings already. So he said he doesn't even swing until the game has started. He goes back in the cage, gets a few swings in, and you saw the results right there. A single for the DH.
Well, you know what, Marty, I got to ask you something, because you know Robbie didn't get a lot of at bats in April because you know it was really Joe Mauer at first, you know, Morrison the DH. So he's just, you know, with Joe on a disabled list, now he's getting some consecutive at bats. That's got to help him too.
Well, yeah, there's certainly a rhythm to it, and you know, another part of it is being in the mindset of being able to forget a bad at-bat. You might have an hour between at-bats, right. Nothing in the field to kind of take your mind off of it. Paul Molitor talked about that part of it too. That's something Grossman has had to adjust to.
Hey, how is it down in that camera well?
It's a beautiful night here.
Yeah, it is.
We'll see if the reverse is true, with Grossman getting a base hit in his first at-bat, and whether that positive vibe can carry him forward to his next at-bat. 1-1 to Garver. Driven down the line, and Tilson can't make the catch. It goes to the wall. He falls down. Grossman to third, and Garver to second with a double. And a couple of right-handed batters sting the ball against Santiago.
Yeah, ball left up and in, looked like a little bit, and Garver opened up quickly and hit his 6th double of the year. Remember yesterday's ball game, Tilson made a great catch going towards center there. The ball gets by him, he reaches out and then slips right there and gets back up and gets the ball in, but it's a double the whole way, and Grossman stops at third.
Adrianza will bat. The corner infielders pinching, middle infielders playing back.
I'd like to see Adrianza hit the ball towards second base, or get a ball deep enough to not only score Grossman, also advance Garver to third. Those are quality at bats. Or just drive him in with a double.
Garver's got one double. Escobar got one in the first inning, and Santiago's faced 7 men and retired 3 of them.
Hector making his 8th career start against the Twins, his 12th appearance. 3 wins, 3 losses against the Twins, ERA at 5.7.
Fouled away into the seats, 1-1.
We go back to 2012 in September. Hector Santiago made his first major league start. It wasn't his first major league appearance, but his first major league start against the Twins in Chicago. And he won that game over Samuel Del Doduno.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's a name from the bat.
2012. Won 4-2.
2-1. Adrianza trying to pick up his batting average, climbing very slowly into the 220s.
He's hitting .290 as a right-handed hitter. Most of his at-bats have been from the left side.
Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. So now here, the White Sox are giving Adrianza and the Twins an RBI if he can just put the ball in play up the middle on the ground, get it past the pitcher, and you got to run. So we'll see if Adrianza can focus on making contact here. Down the line, foul.
Well, he tried to come back in again. It looked like Adrianza was ready for that, as Grossman was with that fastball in. .24 pitches in the first inning for Santiago. This will be pitch number 40 in the ballgame.
Checked his swing, and it's 3-2. Lamar on deck. Chance for the Twins to do some early damage against Hector Santiago. And he steps off. Driven to center. Engel going back. And he's not going to get there. It's off the wall. And it'll score 1 only with Garver holding up near second base. It's an RBI double, and the Twins strike first.
I think Garver got a bad read right there. He's got to go at least halfway, especially by the reaction of Engel. Grossman scores. It is a double by Adrianza, his 10th of the year. If you're at second base, I think what you have to do is you have to turn and look. And when you see that center fielder give up right there, you got to take off. Garver kind of hung around second base. We'll take a look where he's at. Got to be ready to go. He's too close to the bag. He's wanted to tag up.
But you'd like to think with nobody out, it won't matter. Lamar takes inside, ball 1.
Adrianza picking up his 8th RBI as Grossman scores. 1-0 ball game.
The White Sox infield playing the same way with corner infielders playing in a little bit, although now Abreu is retreating. On the right side, swing and a foul back. Lamar targeting the fences. They face Santiago in Chicago. They scored 3 in the first. And a hit to the outfield might make this a 3-run second inning. Grossman started it all with a good at bat and a single up the middle. One and one. 2-1. Speed at second. Adrianza, after his double, should score on a hit to the outfield. Missing, and it's 3-1. Dozier on deck.
Boy, hitting in that number 9 spot, Ryan Lamar should get a pitch to hit right here. And we've seen a lot of his hits go to right field. Well, there's a big gap right there between first and second.
Three and one to Ryan Lamar. Chased a high fastball. Would have been ball 4. Lamar hitting .286. And he's drawn just 5 walks and 63 at bats.
Make Santiago bring that ball down a little bit.
Everything Adrianza tried to do with 2 strikes, put the ball in play. That's what Lamar will try to do here. Fouled away.
Santiago tried another high fastball. Lamar just got a piece of it.
Another 3-2. Checked his swing on a foul.
Pitch count already getting close to 50 for Santiago, trying to look for the first out here in the second inning.
Santiago will try it again on 3-2. A deep drive to left, but it is hooking foul. We talked about this when Santiago made the start against the Twins in Chicago. He was traded to the Twins. Ricky Nolasco went to the Angels, and it was an odd time in Santiago's career to be traded because it was at the end of July, and a July where he went 6-0 with an ERA of 1.78, and the Angels traded him. And you think, well, I mean, the Angels have forever been looking for starting pitching depth. Why would they do that? Well, they thought they had a 2-for-1 deal in the works with Nolasco and Alex Meyer going to the Angels. 3-2 again. And a ground ball. Great stop by Sanchez, and he turns it into an out. Yolmer Sanchez with a great play on the backhand side. And Lamar is robbed of a couple of runs batted in.
Saves Santiago a couple runs right there. Nice defensive play by Sanchez at third.
Wow, that's a heck of a play.
Going to his right, getting that little quick hop, and getting the speedy Lamar at first base for the first out.
Now the Twins need something from Dozier here. Dozier called out on strikes his first time up. Outside, ball 1. Should mention that Alan Buznitz also came to the Twins along with Santiago from the Angels in that trade. Pulled foul, 1-1.
Yeah, Buznitz pitching well down in Rochester.
Expect we'll see him before the year is out, certainly.
Twins don't want to have this opportunity slip away right here.
Single, double, double. You need to get more than 1 run out of that. And the Twins saw this from Santiago too. Men on base, and the game just grinds to a halt. Up the middle, speared by Santiago, and now they've got Garver on a rundown. He'll stay in it long enough to allow the runners to reset, and everybody does what they're supposed to do. With Garver out, And now Adrianza at third and Dozier at second, but there are 2 down for Rosario.
Yeah, Dozier hitting that ball right back to Santiago. And then Garver getting into that rundown.
Dozier says, hey, I had a base hit there. So Garver came off the bag and at least stayed on the rundown long enough for everybody to fill in behind him.
Play going 1-5-2 with the put out of Garver as Dozier moves to second base.
Rosario grounded out to first on the first pitch he saw in the first inning. Breaking ball, strike 1.
Well, that's what he threw Rosario in his first at bat. Rosario turned over on it. Leading the Twins in runs batted in.
'55th pitch coming up for Santiago. So far, he's kept the damage to a minimum. He's given up 3 doubles, a single, and a walk in the first 10 plate appearances. Chased a high fastball, and it's 0-2.
He's thrown a lot of pitches, but this would be a heck of a job of damage control for Santiago if he's able to get out of this.
Took a nice play by Sanchez for the first out, then the comebacker, and now 0-2 to Rosario. Up and away.
Well, 24 in the first and 32 so far here in the second.
High, 2-2.
And again, Santiago, you know, it's kind of forced into that starting rotation, but he's kind of been in and out a little bit too over the last month. Most pitches he's thrown in the ballgame, 92, and that was against the Orioles. And he went 6 innings. His longest outing.
2-2 to Rosario. A drive to left center field, but playable for Engel. And the Twins get the minimum out of the maximum. They score 1 and take a 1-0 lead.
The third, and we have our showstopper. Last night in the Nationals 4-2 win over the Rays, Max Scherzer threw a rare immaculate inning. It was the top of the 6th. Scherzer struck out Johnny Field, Christian Arroyo, and Daniel Robertson on 3 pitches each. So 9 total pitches in the inning, every one of them a strike. It's the second immaculate inning of Scherzer's career, and he's just shocked by that. He's the 5th pitcher in MLB history to record multiple immaculate innings. And Dick and Bert, how about this? Scherzer struck out 13 batters last night. He threw 99 pitches in the game, 81 strikes.
Wow. Tell you what, that was his 10th win, I believe. Yeah, what a year for Scherzer again.
You know, it's remarkable. 3 Cy Young awards. Very likely, I would think, a 4th this year. And he keeps increasing the demands on himself, and that's how you get to be great. He was a good pitcher when he was with the Tigers, and he went to the Nationals and has raised his own expectations. 1-2 now to Adam Engel. Twins have a run on the board for Odorizzi, but they probably should have had more. Engel, Tilson, and Thompson. And now 2-2.
Odorizzi with 3 wins, 2 losses, an ERA. Very good now. I kind of went up a little bit, but he was in the 3s until his last start. Hasn't had a lot of run support. Only 3.14 runs in his 12 starts. So that was an inning that, you know, he had a chance to maybe put a 3 on the board. And believe me, as a pitcher, 3's a lot better than 1 when you go out there.
Full count now to Engel, leading off the 3rd. Fouled away. Seven games played between these two teams, and the Twins have won 5 of them. And another game series finale coming up tomorrow at noon. Full count. Knocked down by Odorizzi. He makes the play. And I think that got all leather. I hope so. It was a hot smash, and Odorizzi knocked it down.
Yeah, sometimes your glove just finds the ball. Engel hit that ball sharply. And Odorizzi, watch his glove side. So the glove side right there, it just kind of last second.
Ooh.
Oh, it did get a piece of him. Fell straight
right
down.
knee. One down, and now Charlie Tilson. Strike one. So we're going to foul 2 strikes. Seven up, 7 down for Odorizzi. Pop up, and Escobar drifts across the line, 2 away. That'll get us to Trace Thompson. 2018 FIFA World Cup is coming to Fox and FS1. Every match is live. Over 300 hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event just 8 days away, only on Fox and FS1. 2 down, and now Trace Thompson.
Well, 8 up, 8 down for Jake Odorizzi.
One strike to Thompson.
Well, good job. That's one thing we talked about. Get ahead in the count, and Jake's done a good job of that. 7 of 9 first pitch strikes. Big slow curveball there, misses.
One and 1 to Thompson. And a strike call.
Thompson, 27 years old, originally signed by the White Sox, their #2 pick in 2009. Came up with the White Sox in 2015. Also spent time with the Dodgers and the A's. The Oakland A's.
We've said often up here that sometimes takes hitters 1,000, 1,500 at bats to find out whether they've figured it out or not. The question with Thompson is how many different teams will those 1,000 at bats come from, or 4. And now 3-2 to Thompson.
I mentioned last night with Thompson, you know, he started in the Dodger organization, was going to be sent down, and then they designated for assignment. The Yankees claimed him. They tried to send him down. The A's claimed him. This all in April.
Right.
You know, then the White Sox ended up trading for him. So he's going to get some at-bats here.
First hit comes off the bat of Thompson. A line drive single to center with 2 outs in the 3rd. And that'll bring up Moncada.
Yeah, fastball away. Good hit by Thompson. Just takes the pitch into right center.
And Odorizzi wants a different baseball. He struck out Moncada to start the ball game on 3 pitches. Moncada started the 2nd game last night with a home run. Swing and a miss, out in front, strike 1.
The White Sox like to run. Thompson 2 for 2 in stolen base attempts. Odorizzi on the mound, pretty quick home. Does have a good move. He has a couple pickoffs this year.
Swing and a miss, out in front again.
2 good changeups right there.
And now with 2 strikes, the Twins will swing the infield around. Into a pull shift, which of course is just the opposite of what you'd expect them to do. You would typically expect a hitter with 2 strikes to just try to put the ball in play and maybe look to the opposite field even more. But the Twins have the intelligence to suggest that with 2 strikes, Moncada is even more of a pull hitter, at least on the infield.
And the shifts are going to continue until they're proven otherwise, you know. I mean, Moncada, 22 years old, doesn't have a lot of major league at bats, but why not try to inside out it right here and just hit it the other way? And Garver going inside.
Is the old baseball cliche, you know, take 2 and go to right as a right-handed batter. Well, now this shift is suggesting take 2 and then try to pull the ball even more
and pull it to Dozier. You know.
1-2. There goes the runner. Pitches up, and the throw is cut off on 1 hop. Stolen base for Thompson. And now he's in scoring position, and the count 2-2 to Moncada.
Again, the White Sox say like to run. We saw it in both games. They want to get that runner into scoring position. Thompson got a good jump. Adrianza does a good job of coming and getting that ball so it doesn't go by him in the center field. So Thompson steals his 3rd base, and for the White Sox, they're 52nd most in baseball.
And now Adrianza lined up behind the runner, and the count 2-2 to Moncada. You know, you wonder if at some point, because there's almost always a middle infielder in the vicinity of second base, in a situation like this, just have the middle infielder in question hold the runner at second base like a first baseman would do, trying to keep him closer. Maybe he doesn't score on a hit to the outfield there. Popped up, fouling out of play.
Well, what you're doing though is you're cutting down the range of your shortstop that usually has the best range on the field.
I know that, but in most instances there's either the shortstop or the second baseman's within a few steps of second base anyway.
I think you should put that in the suggestion box.
It's already full. No one opens the box to listen to my suggestions. Another 2-2.
There he got him.
Wow. Not sure if he did or not. But the strike call is made. The inning ends, and the Twins are still up 1-0. We'll introduce Chief Baseball Officer Derek Falvey, who is here to talk specifically about the draft tonight. And if the inning's long enough, if we score 7, 8, 9 runs, we'll talk about some other things as well.
All right.
How'd it go generally? Were you happy with everything that transpired over the last couple of days?
It was great. Sean Johnson and the scouting staff really put in a great deal of work with everybody and throughout. We had a number of picks, got really creative throughout the draft, took some high upside high school talent and good deal of college talent too. So I'm excited about the group.
How different was it this year because you did not have the #1 overall pick?
It was certainly different. Trust me, I don't aspire to have #1 frequently. That's not something we want. And ultimately picking at 20, we knew we were going to get a good player. We weren't sure how it would shake out, but it certainly changes the dynamic a little bit to wait it out and see what comes.
Check swing. I think he checked. And it's 1-1. Escobar, Kepler, and Sano will hit here in the third inning. We talked in advance of the draft the importance of signability and how a long time ago, under prior ownership in 1983, the Twins had the #1 overall pick. Tim Belcher, they didn't sign him, and then they had Oda B. McDowell, they didn't sign him. They had Billy Swift, and they didn't sign him. So are we confident that this guy is going to be a member of the Twins?
Yeah, Trevor's somebody who he continues to play. He's at Oregon State. We have a good sense of signability for a number of our players, so we will get to completion with other guys here once their seasons end, and that's true of Trevor. So we're hopeful that we get that done.
You know, Derek, we just got the list, and I'm just kind of looks like a lot of college kids. Was there a breakdown between high school and college kids?
It worked out such that it seemed like it up top. Those were the best players.
To right center field. He hasn't done it again, has he? Great running catch in center by Adam Engel, and he took a double away from Escobar. Great range in center from Engel. We saw Charlie Tilson yesterday make a similar play from his left field starting spot, one away.
I think to answer your question, Bert, it worked out that we had some college players up top that lined up really well for us. But after that, we felt like we got some high upside high school players a little bit deeper in the draft, even at the back end of our top 10 rounds. So we feel it's a mix, some good toolsy, talented athletes, as well as some college performers.
40 rounds in the draft, and as I look at the list here, I count 4 catchers. There is such a shortage.
You're looking at the same thing I was.
There's such a shortage of catching. Are these 4 guys who you project as being catchers professionally.
We do. Ryan Jeffers, our second-round pick, we really like. Our scouts did a great job identifying a really great makeup kid. He loves to catch. He's a leader. We've done a lot of work on his makeup and know that he's hit a ton in college. He's really offensive. He's a big kid, 6'4", good target, and somebody who we think can come along defensively with professional instruction.
2-1 the count to Max Kepler. Kepler drew a walk his first time up.
A lot of pitchers too, I see. More on toward the bottom end of the draft rather than maybe up on top.
I think with the way this draft played out, and typically in a draft you'll have about half of your Class B pitchers, just the realities of filling out those rosters at the minor league level. But we felt we got some real upside starting talent, got guys, good projectable bodies, guys that'll fit really well in our system and development, and a few relievers too that we think can maybe track a little bit more quickly through the minor leagues.
There's so much work in advance of the draft, and you've got scouts and you've got opinions, going back and forth throughout the course of the draft. What's the next step then? Is it necessarily the #1 draft pick getting him signed, or do you start elsewhere trying to get some of the other guys signed?
Well, I think there's certainly a process we'll work through to sign these guys. Some of them, their seasons have ended, so we can work to completion with those players. For those who are continuing to play, some of them in the College World Series or in the playoffs right now, in the regionals and super regionals, we'll wait on their seasons to end to get to a point where we can negotiate and finish off deals there. So we feel good about our group and feel good about the signability numbers. So we expect to get these guys in soon.
That was going to be my question. Of the 39 or 40 guys that you drafted, gentlemen, average 30 out of 40, you feel like you'll feel comfortable by signing?
So no bounces into a double play.
We certainly will get about half of them signed. Okay. So that's a pretty common outcome.
Very good.
And a bit of irony, the #1 pick, Trevor Larnach, is going to be playing against the Gophers in the Super Regional. Derek, thank you. Get some sleep, will you? I know you guys have been working around the clock.
Thanks for having me again.
Sanford Health Report. Quite a moment last weekend. Danny Farquhar, who succumbed to a brain aneurysm, a ruptured aneurysm, in the dugout at U.S. Cellular Field, came back 6 weeks later to throw out the ceremonial first pitch, and it looks as if all signs are pointing toward Farquhar being able to return professionally as a pitcher. Some of the caps that the White Sox players have been wearing have his initials and his uniform number. Just a great story out of what could have been just a horrific story. Yeah. Now the fourth, Yolmer Sanchez leading things off against Odorizzi, and the first pitch popped up and backing out of play, 1 strike. You were drafted in what round? As
third round, 1969.
Okay. And you spent all the money on that purple Dodge Charger?
Half of it.
Half of it.
The other half went to mommy and daddy.
1 strike.
I got a funny story about that because the scout who signed me, Jesse Flores,
driven to the left field corner, but slicing foul.
He came to my house and he offered, you know, we didn't have agents, so he talked to my dad, and they wanted to offer me $5,000 plus schooling.
For you?
He started to laugh too, and we did the same thing. I think my dad was louder than I was. Schooling, we barely got him through high school. In his Dutch accent. And my dad basically chased them out of the house, and the next day they came back and they offered $15,000. And my dad.
Whoa, pretty good negotiator. Triple the original offer.
My pops did good, yeah.
1-2. And so you're telling us that your purple Dodge Charger cost half of that, which was about $7,500.
I don't even think it was that much at that time.
Okay. You realize if you had bought that car.
I have to pay taxes too,
right.
Dick.
If you'd bought that car, put it on blocks, never turned the engine over, if you could resell it now, you probably have $250,000. 2-2.
Great car.
Fouled away. The best draft story still is Bob Euchre's. He said when the Milwaukee Braves came for him and they offered a $5,000 bonus, and Bob said how his father came up with $5,000. Yeah. He has no idea. 2-2. Sanchez will be followed by Abreu and Davidson.
We're sitting inside.
This one down the line again, foul.
Again, these are at bats that you don't like as a starting pitcher that goes 6-7 pitches deep. Odorizzi 14 in the first, only 10 in the second, but then he needed 22 in the third. Stay away from those 20 innings if you can. See the different signs. Fastball away.
And another foul. Been 3 2-strike fouls in this at bat.
Now, Odorizzi making his 139th major league start. He has no complete games in his career. 43 wins, 40 losses.
There's a strikeout. Left a pitch up and got a swing and a miss. 1 down.
Strikeout number 5 for Jake.
There's some more draft knowledge in today's activity. Cody Funderburk, no relation to former Twin Mark Funderburk. Happy to see that Kevin Tapani's son was drafted today. Providence Academy. Swing and a miss by Abreu. He struck out swinging his first time up.
I don't believe with the draft now, they don't have, you can't follow them anymore, can you? You have a certain amount of time to sign them. And then
well, yeah, I mean, that was.
It used to be, you know, they could go into almost next year or when school started.
There was a deadline. I remember years ago when the Twins drafted Travis Lee, and then out of a courtesy to the Lee family, Terry Ryan let them kind of take their time and get settled after the Olympics or some international competition. And then they turned around and voided the draft because they didn't sign by a certain time. It was very much kind of a dirty trick, if you will. The Twins were trying to offer Travis Lee the courtesy of taking some time and kind of settling things down and all that, but then they waited past the deadline and never did get a chance to sign Lee. 1-2.
He struck out Abreu on a high fastball in the first inning.
Missed inside, and it's 2-2. And that one somehow eludes Odorizzi and goes straight to Dozier. 2 down.
That went around Odorizzi. Somehow that hooked around him. So a couple balls hit right back up the middle. One hit the left leg of Odorizzi, and that one somehow, watch Odorizzi's follow through. Yep, well, get your legs out of the way. Dozier able to get that ground ball and get the second out.
2 down, and now Matt Davidson. Down and away, ball 1.
Davidson just activated a couple days off from the disabled list. He had some back spasms that put him on a disabled list. 26 home runs for Davidson last year for the White Sox in his 3rd season this year. Came up with the Diamondbacks.
Missing inside, 2-0.
He's missed a couple times with that slow curveball. Davidson, Arizona Diamondbacks #1 pick back in 2009. Signed out of high school in California, in Kaipa.
There's a called strike, 2-1.
The draft, I don't care if you're #1 or number 40, it's a gamble. It really is. You don't know. You hope that they all succeed. But what is it, 4% that sign, 4 or 5% ever get to the big leagues?
3-1. Because there are so few who are drafted and signed and have an immediate impact at this level, you know, more often than not, it takes years for a #1 draft pick, say Trevor Larnach, even though he's coming out of college, we might not see him up here, if at all, in 4 or 5 years. There's a 2-out walk putting Davidson aboard, and now Kevin Smith will bat.
First walk for Odorizzi.
Wednesday, June 20th, it's University of St. Thomas night at Target Field. A limited number of St. Thomas themed night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and a purple and gray Twins cap. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/St. Thomas or call 800-33-TWINS. Smith hit a fly ball to right his first time up.
Let me tell you a story. My first year in 1969, when I was sent to rookie ball in Sarasota, Florida, our manager was Fred Waters. And we made an error in inning. We were all out of high school. Ron McDonald was a #2 pick. Paul Ray Powell was #1. That was his name, Ron McDonald. Ronald McDonald. We called him Red.
The Twins drafted Ronald McDonald
in 1969. Their #2 pick out of Southern California.
That might explain the years that followed.
But Fred Waters was our manager, and he sat us all down. We weren't playing very good. We're all nervous. And he said, gentlemen, and there might have been 30 of us in a room. He said, look around the room. You'll be lucky if 2 of you ever get to the big leagues. Of course, you know, I looked around. I wonder who the other one is.
Right.
And it was. He was sitting right next to me, Jim Hughes. My friend Jim Hughes is with Rawlings now and pitched for the Bluegill Hughes with the Twins in the 70s. We were the only 2 out of that room that made it to the big leagues. That's how difficult it is.
1-1 to
and Ronald McDonald. I think he opened a franchise somewhere. He's been very successful at it.
And on the outside corner, 1-2.
To be honest with you, I don't know how high Ron McDonald went. I know Paul Ray Powell, I think, got a cup of coffee with the Twins, meaning he just came up for a little bit, the #1 pick.
No, in fairness to the guy, I mean, he was named Ronald McDonald long before Ray Kroc.
It was Ron McDonald.
All right, but still, I mean,
yeah.
1-2.
He was a third baseman.
Okay. If we wanted to extend it, we could talk about his physical size and whether he was supersized and all that, but we won't do that. 2-2. Odorizzi trying to wrap things up here in the top of the fourth.
Back then, he wasn't a quarter pounder. Okay.
And now outside, he's run the count full to Smith. Lost Davidson after getting ahead of him, and now 3-2 to Smith, which will allow Davidson to leave early.
Boy, the first 2 innings he used 24 pitches, and now you can see the pitch count mounting. This is why Odorizzi, it's hard for him to get deep into a ball game. This would be pitch number 70.
Twins got Sano's attention and want him to play behind the runner, not hold the runner. Full count to Smith. And a base hit to right. And Kepler will get there and spin and fire to second base. And the White Sox are threatening now after the 2-out walk. Tim Anderson will bat.
Well, Smith, who was just activated yesterday, got a base hit and picked up his first RBI of the year. Started the season on a disabled left ankle strain. And right there, got a pitch up on a 3-2 breaking ball. And Davidson over at third now.
Only base runners that have reached against Odorizzi have reached after the second out, but now a threat with the tying run 90 feet away. Anderson struck out swinging his first time up. Tapper, foul, 1 strike. And the Indians won this afternoon behind good outing by Carlos Carrasco, 3-1 over Milwaukee. And the Brewers with a little bit of a, I don't want to call it a skid, disappointing few ball games. They lost 2 out of 3 to the White Sox, and now they've lost 2 in a row to the Indians. 1 strike to Anderson.
White Sox very high on this young man right here, Tim Anderson, their #1 pick back in 2013. 17th pick overall in that draft.
Starting to draw a few more walks. Still very strikeout prone. 1-1. So we're going to miss again. He's been out in front of Odorizzi's off-speed stuff throughout his first 2 at-bats.
Yeah, Jake struck him out on a breaking ball to end the second inning. That was his 3rd strikeout. He's got 5 strikeouts right now. See if he can make it 6. Pinky away, fastball away.
Didn't chase the high fastball. It was too high for that. 2-2. Now pitch number 75 coming up for Odorizzi.
Working at a very slow pace too. Got to pick it up a little bit.
Missing inside, and it's the 3rd straight full count with Adam Engel on deck. Odorizzi set down the first 8 batters. Now 3 of the last 6 have reached, and the runner at first. Smith will take off early. Sano will hold him on this 3-2 pitch. Sharply hit and into left center field, a base hit. Davidson scores. Smith to third. The throw coming to second base, and Anderson is out at second.
Bad base running.
Terrible base running, but an RBI single, and the game is tied.
Run till you're out. You're out.
T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Beautiful night here at Target Field again. Now a 1-1 ball game with the White Sox stringing together a walk and a couple of singles to tie it up in the top of the inning. Robbie Grossman will lead off the bottom of the fourth, then Mitch Garver and A-Ray Adrianza facing Hector Santiago, who faced just 3 men in the third. Ball one.
Hey, walked Kepler with 1 out, and then Sano hit into the double play to end the third. 71 pitches now for Santiago.
2-0. Day game tomorrow. Then the Angels come in to wrap up the homestand with 3 games. The Twins won't have to deal with Andrelton Simmons. Angels put him on the 10-day disabled list today. He slipped in the dugout and sprained an ankle. Kind of similar to what happened to Nelson Cruz at the very beginning of the season.
Right. That's a big loss to them. He was hitting well and playing Gold Glove shortstop.
Fouled away 2-1 to Grossman. Twins need to get back on top of it. They had a great chance in the second inning. They had a 2-out threat going in the first inning. So far have just the 1 run against Santiago. Another foul, 2-2.
Robbie started that second inning with a base hit. See if he can start the fourth with a base hit.
Grounded a single up the middle his first time up. It's good that the Twins have had Grossman leading off innings because he gives the Twins a really competitive at bat every time he's up there. And another foul back. And as he's gotten more playing time, batting average is responding, the on base percentage is responding. A high fly to left. Tilson coming in, and it's Anderson going out and being called off by Tilson. 1 away. And that'll get us to Garver. In tonight's Minnesota Lottery winner circle, we're celebrating Kelsey and Connor's engagement. They won $100 in scratch tickets for being featured. Congrats. Are you game? Say I'm in. One down, and now Garver, who doubled to left field his first time up. And probably should have scored on Adrianza's follow-up double, but he was left at third base and then got trapped off third on a ground ball. The Twins never were able to add to the 1 run they got. Strike 1. And now a ball. The Twins, of course, beset by injuries, and even though he's not on the disabled list, Logan Morrison not on the lineup because he's injured. So you look at the opening day lineup against Baltimore in late March. 1-1, 2-1, and of the 9 hitters in the lineup on opening day, Brian Dozier is in the lineup, Sano's in the lineup, Rosario and Escobar and Kepler, and the other 4 are gone. Starting catcher on the line, foul back into the seats.
Yeah, with Jason Castro out for the season with that knee surgery, you know, it gives Garver, Bobby Wilson to back up. It mainly gives Mitch Garver an opportunity to show what he can do. There's Bobby Wilson.
Twins also signed Cameron Rupp to a minor league deal. He's been a good offensive player last couple of years, and he's been sent to Rochester in the lineup tonight, and there's a chance we might see him before the season's out. 2-2 to Garver. And now inside 3-2. Last hit the Twins got was Adrianza's double to center, and now another foul over the Twins dugout.
Our count, Santiago has had 7 3-2 counts.
So far he's just walked 2, Kepler twice. A high fly to left. Tilson's back there, still on the outfield grass, and now coming in a few for the catch out number 2.
Yeah, Mitch just got underneath that one. A couple fly ball outs this inning.
And I'll bet you people have been saying things like that as they've walked away from their at-bats with Santiago for a long time. Just missed it. Twins got 4 hits in their first 8 plate appearances and none since. Here is Adrianza. Doubled to center field his first time up. With runners at second and third, only 1 run scored. And there's another hit down the line, and Adrianza is going to try for 2. And he has a double with 2 outs here in the 4th inning.
Well, good to see Adrianza swinging a good bat. His back-to-back doubles. Tilson got over there, the left fielder, but it hit that short wall and then caromed out toward left field. Nothing Sanchez could do. Adrianza with 2 outs, you're thinking get to second base, but watch the ball carom back. And Tilson had no chance. Adrianza gets into second base with 2 outs.
Similar to the ball Lamar hit with runners at second and third and nobody out in the second. But Sanchez made a nice play and turned it into an out. Fouled back, a strike. White Sox put together a run in the top of this inning after the second out. We'll see if the Twins can do it. Santiago spins. He's lost a runner at second base yesterday on a pickoff move. Grounded to the right side, under the glove of Moncada, around third. Adrianza will score, and Lamar, as he's done so often this year, gets a big base hit to right field.
Well, in this first at bat, I said that big hole between first and second. That's where we've seen Ryan get a lot of his hits. And Adrianza, he was the one that got picked off yesterday in game 2. So he's hanging around second base. That inside-out swing by Lamar.
That is a purist's delight to see what Lamar just did there.
Picking up his 7th run batted in.
And a big run to get after the White Sox tied it in the top of this inning. And now Brian Dozier. Dozier called out on strikes in the first, then he had a comebacker to the mound in the second. Over the inside corner, strike 1.
Brian came into the ball game 5 hits and 16 at bats against Santiago. 0 for 2 so far.
Dozier might have been bothered by a bug. The Twins try to move Lamar here with Dozier at the plate. And this is something that teams have done with Brian, and even with a runner at first. Talked about Lamar pushing the ball through. Didn't hit the ball well, but he got a base hit. And there's 100 feet of space between Abreu holding the runner at first and the second baseman Moncada on the other side of second base.
Remember, Santiago's got a pretty good move to first too. He's got 16 career pickoffs. Very kind of sped up his delivery, slide step.
One and 2 to Dozier. Rosario on deck. A high pop up short left field.
They pulled the string, a big changeup right there.
Anderson wants it, makes the catch. The Twins get a couple of 2-out hits to regain the lead. hands of the game. Now the young man on the left,
there you go.
I think is smiling for two reasons. Smiling for two reasons. One, he's at a ball game, but I'm guessing either today or tomorrow is the last day of school for that young man. So that all the more reason for him to smile.
He's with his pops. That's even better.
Fouled straight back, strike one to Adam Engel. And Odorizzi's been handed his second 1-run lead.
Yeah, he needs a quick inning right here. 22 in the third, 30 last inning. Pitches needed.
High fastball fouled straight back. White Sox are in last place in the division, a half game ahead of the Royals, who traded John Jay tonight to the Arizona Diamondbacks. And I suspect that Dayton Moore will be quite busy through June and through July. I imagine Kelvin Herrera being traded from the Royals to a contending team. Mike Moustakas perhaps. Twins 5 games below 500 and a half game behind the Tigers. Twins need a win to keep the distance just 4 games between themselves and Cleveland. Half swing and they'll check. No swing.
Chris Conroy, the first base umpire, saying he did not go.
Twins playing tomorrow. The Indians are not. So the imbalance in the games played. Indians now have played 60 games. The Twins are playing their 58th tonight. 2-2. And now strike 3. Engel strikes out to start the 5th inning.
And strikeout number 6 for Jake Odorizzi. Had a strikeout game, 10 strikeout ball game. Quick movement down in the strike zone.
That has that split change that he uses with a little downward movement.
He struck out 10 against the Brewers here back on May 20th.
Here's Tilson. Driven to the gap. Lamar coming over. He won't get there. And it's going to beat Lamar all the way to the wall. Tilson can run. He's got 2. He wants 3. No, he'll be content with 2. Even though the throw is just kind of thrown towards second base. A 1-out double for Charlie Tilson.
Yeah, Tilson jumping on that first pitch, hitting a double, his first extra base hit for the Chicago White Sox. Ball tailing away. Good at bat by Tilson. And Lamar has to chase it down, play the carom, get it back in as quick as he can, and Tilson holding up.
1 down, and now the number 9 batter, Trace Thompson. Punched a single to right field his last time up. Pitch is up, ball 1. There's a reason he's only driven in 5 runs and hit 3 home runs. Of course, he hit the walk-off home run against the Twins in Chicago on that Thursday night a few weeks ago. Told me when we were in Chicago that last year, I guess what it was, when he came here for a long series like this, he got a chance to go over to Williams Arena and to see where his father Michael's uniform was retired. Got to see the raised floor at Williams Arena where his father starred. Up and away, and it's 2-0.
Got some good pedigree, doesn't he?
Sure does. Two and 0. And a strike taken, 2-1.
A speed pitch right there to get strike 1.
You could almost see Thompson gearing up for a fastball, and something slower came in, and he was all out of whack and couldn't offer at it, or chose not to. That's looped to left. Coming in a few steps is Rosario. Out number 2, and that'll bring up Yoan Moncada. Start your day with First Things First. Join Chris Carter, Nick Wright, Jenna Wolf for the best morning sports show on television. First Things First, weekdays on FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Your morning routine just got a whole lot more fun. 2 down. Tilson still at second, and Moncada, who struck out twice against Odorizzi. Pitch count climbing towards 90. Fouled away, a strike.
Most pitches that Odorizzi has thrown in a ball game, 108. That came in that game against the Brewers here, and he did strike out 10. We're into the 6th inning, 5 2/3 innings.
Off to second.
He had the daylight play right there. And you don't have to throw. Remember that.
You do to first.
Yeah, that's the only base.
One strike. And no ball.
You know who did that well when I was with the Twins? Greg Gagne had that daylight play. He was really good at that. Sneak behind the runner and just kind of put out his glove, and then you wheel and throw. Tilson trying to get a good jump. Cat and mouse game going on there at short.
And you never know, of course. It's 2-1. Odorizzi's going to try to retire Moncada, but if he gets a base hit, if there's a play at the plate, it's a close play and he's out, it might be because of the little games they're playing out around second base during the at-bat.
Right.
Two and one to Moncada. Pretty good left-handed hitter. Hasn't hit much from the other side of the plate yet this year. And upstairs and got a swinging strike. 2-2.
He's having a tough time against Odorizzi. Moncada, just 22 years old, from Cuba. Originally signed by Boston as a free agent back in 2015. Had a little time with the Red Sox. He came over in a Chris Sale trade.
Got him looking.
Yeah.
Same pitch he struck him out on in the third, and he got him again in the fifth. And the Twins hold on to that 2-1 lead. that we're known for. Over 900 family resorts offer every activity under the sun on the lake and everywhere along the shore. There's no better way to appreciate the Minnesota way of life than to experience a few lazy days by the lake in the summertime. Find endless ideas for the perfect getaway at exploreminnesota.com and share your favorites with #OnlyInMN. Didn't stay at a resort. That's kind of what I did on Monday. We had an off day and I was up enjoying the lake and
catch anything?
I did, and I threw it all back.
Oh, did you?
Checked his swing, and it's 1-1 to Rosario. Escobar and Kepler will follow.
Now, did you tell me that the walleye are not biting right now?
I haven't. Friends of mine have caught them, but I'm not catching any keeper-sized walleyes yet. This one hit pretty well to left center field, retreating his angle. And now on the warning track, makes the catch, one away.
Yeah, Rosario gave it a ride, but to the deepest part here at Target Field.
And that'll bring up Escobar. Escobar hit a double in the first, and then an angle robbed him of a double in the third. That's just this year, and look at all the damage he's done.
Hitting .429.
Out in front, strike one. There's so much that I think a young hitter can learn from watching how he has developed, and we've talked about the switch hitting. Not everybody can do that, but he's got the same approach from both sides of the plate. He's willing to use the whole field. Some of his most damaging hits have been to the opposite field, including the home runs. 1-1. And now 2-1.
Can almost see him follow that ball all the way into Smith's, the catcher's glove. That's what hitters look for. They look for that ball as quick as possible coming out of that pitcher's hand to maybe see a spin or, you know, the rotation of that ball.
There's the outside corner, 2-2.
Twins have had their opportunities to add to this 2-1 lead.
And we've seen Escobar patient in his at-bats for the most part, and now he's got a full count.
A lot of breaking stuff so far.
And Escobar takes a walk, and like Santiago spun out again on his follow.
Third walk for Santiago.
The other two walks came in the Kepler plate appearances, and Kepler will bat next. Aaron Bummer getting loose with Santiago about to throw his 100th pitch.
Again, the most he's thrown in a ball game, 92. That came in Baltimore in a loss. 6 innings in that outing.
Strike at the knees.
I don't remember Hector dropping down as much as he is in today's game than he did when he was with us. So he's trying to give the hitter different looks.
Particularly left-handed batters that have just absolutely punished him over the last few years. I mean, last year when he pitched for the Twins had him in the rotation for most of the year. He had some back problems and, you know, struggled health-wise with the Twins.
Yeah, he was shut down in July. He didn't even finish the year with back issues.
But it was not a small sample size. I mean, Santiago last year had 46 at-bats against left-handers. They got 22 hits, 6 home runs. He walked 10 of them. He couldn't get lefties out.
Well, that's probably why he's trying to change that arm angle a little bit. So we're trying to make the adjustment.
And now he delivers high to Kepler. 1-1. There he drops down and hits the outside corner. 1-2.
What I've seen when he's dropped down, it seems like it's all fastballs too. I haven't seen that breaking ball from down underneath there.
2 to Kepler. They need to break this game open.
There's a breaking ball. He must have heard me.
Or he looked at his stats, which might.
Well, you know what? If you're having trouble against a certain hitter or left-handed hitters, you have to try to do something different.
Could be a double play grounder. They get the runner at second and the relay in first, or to first, in time for a double play. And Escobar went in hard and flipped Anderson at second base.
Second double play, turn behind Santiago.
Representative not just for the Cardinals but for the game of baseball, and we lost Red Schoendienst today at the age of 95.
And a better person. I went to Europe with him many years ago. Him and his wife Mary were great people, and that's a big loss to all of baseball, to humanity, and especially the St. Louis Cardinals. He meant so much. Rest in peace, Red.
Here it's 2-1 Twins as we go to the 6th inning. And Jake Odorizzi will start the 6th inning. He's got to face some of the better Chicago hitters here the 3rd time. Yolmer Sanchez, Jose Abreu, and Matt Davidson.
Oh, we've lost some good people as of late. Frank Quillisi, of course, and then Bruce Keeson, a former teammate of mine in Pittsburgh, and now Red Schoendienst. God's putting a pretty good team up there.
Pretty good announced team up there too, with Frank Quillisi and Joe McConnell, who was they were both partners of Herb Carneal. Joe passed away a month and a half ago, I guess. 1 strike to Sanchez, and now a ball.
Well, this is probably Odorizzi's last inning, so whatever you have in the tank, get it out right now. He came into this inning with 91 pitches.
Swing and a miss. 1-2, and Ryan Presley, I believe, is warming up out in the Twins bullpen. And Eddie Guardado monitoring his warm-up tosses. Rizzi's gotten the leadoff man in all 5 innings, trying to get Sanchez here to start the 6th. And now 2-2.
Yeah, Odorizzi making his 13th start because he's only gone 6 innings 4 times. He has 4 quality starts. That's where a pitcher pitches 6 innings or more and gives up 3 earned runs or less.
Pretty good ERA with Garver now ball blistered to center field. Leadoff hit for Sanchez. It's the first leadoff batter to reach against Odorizzi, and we'll see whether that brings Paul Molitor out here with a very dangerous hitter in Abreu coming up. Now Odorizzi's gotten him twice. A strikeout and a weak ground ball.
I don't get them out yet. You got to let these pitcher starters go a little bit deeper. These are the challenges that you want as a starter late in a ball game. Get out of it. And I say late, it's only the 6th inning, but see if he can get a ground ball right here.
Abreu struck out in the first, hit a ground ball to Dozier in the 4th.
Rizzi's had 3 double plays turned behind him.
Breaking ball gets a swing and a miss. Again, a breaking ball and a swing and a miss. You get ahead of a really good hitter like this, and maybe your best pitch, your best strikeout pitch is that high fastball. You've got to trust that you can command it.
I don't know, the way that he swung at those 2 breaking balls, why fool around with a fastball? This guy's a good fastball hitter.
Well, I think Garver called for the fastball and got shaken off.
Yep, this will be the slider. Keep it down.
Slowly hit. Adrianza juggles and can't get the handle of it, and Abreu will reach. It's an infield hit. First and second, nobody out.
Well, he got the ground ball. Adrianza just had a little trouble getting that ball out of his glove, and here comes Paul Molitor.
Odorizzi starts the 6th, but he can't get it out, and he'll leave a first and second situation.
That ball has got to be caught, at least get 1 out.
Second, nobody out, and the Twins will bring Ryan Presley in to try to shut things down in the 6th inning.
Yeah, Ryan, a strikeout pitcher, 41 strikeouts in 29 1/3 innings, making his 32nd relief appearance. He's walked 12. He has given up 3 home runs.
2 of them in his last 3 appearances. He was so good for so long. Now 2 of the last 3 haven't been very sharp for Ryan, and he needs a good one here today. Tying run at second, nobody out. Davidson walked and scored his last time up. 0 for 1. Swing and a miss. So Odorizzi kind of touches and feels his way around the strike zone with 90-91. And then Presley comes at you with gas. 1 strike. .97 and a swing and a miss. That's okay. That's not great. That's okay. But if he can strand 2 here with nobody out, that's what that stat doesn't really describe. How many were on and how many were out in an inning. On the outside corner, and he dispatches Davidson as quickly as someone can be dispatched.
Pretty good fastballs right there. Picks up a strikeout for Presley, a big one.
So 1 down, and now Kevin Smith.
Went right after Davidson. Fastball, fastball.
No.
Fastball.
Home plate umpiring has been pretty inconsistent here tonight. But that's a big call for Presley and the Twins, and now Kevin Smith. Breaking ball drops over for a strike.
But you know what? If you're out on that mound and you know that that umpire's giving you a little bit, take it.
Well, of course, you'd be silly not to.
Well, some players or pitchers don't. That's what Garver is back there for, to see what he's given, what he's not given.
And a ball slapped to right field. A base hit. Runner at second. Sanchez had to hold up. And so it's a base hit, and they're loaded up now with 1 down. Nice job by Smith, who picks up his 2nd hit of the ball game, and they are loaded up now for Tim Anderson.
Yeah, you know, Smith last year, he hit 283 last year. The ball didn't have much bite on it, just kind of spun, and Smith hit it the other way.
And now Anderson, who, as we mentioned, is strikeout prone. Sano's going to play in front of the runner at first, as the Twins, if it's hit to the corners, apparently will come home to get the force play. And maybe the double play. Strike 1. Presley going back to the heat. .056 with the bases loaded. Swing and a miss. Another fastball. And Presley would like to do to Anderson what he did with Davidson. Just burn 3 fastballs by him and move on. 0-2. Nice stop by Garver, but he didn't get enough of it. And the game is tied.
That was a good read by Sanchez, too. He noticed that that ball got behind Garver, and he took off right away.
Up here, it looked like Garver blocked it, but it went between his legs and rolled to the warning track.
That'll be a wild pitch, charged to Presley. And the game is tied. All runners advance.
Sanchez started the inning with a single.
For Ryan, his 4th wild pitch of the year.
Infield in now in a tie game. 1-2. Landed in front of the left-handed batter's box. 2-2. No win for Odorizzi. He's still responsible for Abreu at 3rd. Presley's missed after getting ahead 0-2, and see if he goes back now to the fastball. Breaking ball hit to left center. And I'm not sure why. They're going to send both runners. Here's the throw from Rosario. It's off the line, and 2 runs will score. But the runner at second, Smith, held near second base. And on a 2-2 pitch, Anderson delivers a 2-run single. Well, he went back to the breaking ball.
Yeah, he left it up right there. After throwing 2 fastballs right past Anderson, the last 3 have been breaking balls. That ball, curveball, stayed up. And Anderson hitting it softly in front of Rosario.
4 singles in the inning, and so far 3 runs, still only 1 out. And the batter is Adam Engel. Type of inning I think everyone was looking for the Twins having against Santiago. Santiago's the pitcher of record right now. He's completed 5 innings, and now the White Sox have given him a 2-run lead. Runner goes. There's no chance with Anderson stealing third, standing up. The ball was in the dirt. It wouldn't have been a play on him anyway.
Anderson stealing third base. That's 13 stolen bases in 14 attempts. As soon as Ryan Presley lifted up that leg, he took off. And the ball in the dirt.
Infield back in again, and the count is 2-0 to Engel. It's been another rough outing for Ryan Presley. Breaking ball gets a swing and a miss. Quicker breaking ball.
Yeah, that more the slider. Ryan has the curveball. He also has the slider.
Santiago happy with the turn of events here. A chance to pick up a win.
Oh, this game's not over.
Squeeze play executed to perfection, and Sano throws low, and Dozier, they say safe, and they will give Engel a bunt single, and a run will score. Beautiful bunt, just laid up into the grass, and the Twins are going to take a look at it. I thought Dozier made a really nice play on a low throw by Sano.
I see Anderson coming. It squeezed all the way. As a hitter, you have to put that ball down. Exactly what Engel did. Bang bang play at first base. Watch Sano.
I think they're going to challenge it because I think he's out. He's got moved.
You know what Sano's got. I know Sano is not accustomed to playing a lot of first. If he barehands that ball gets to Dozier a lot quicker.
Know that they will overturn that. Ball wasn't controlled any quicker than the foot hit the bag, I don't believe. But the Twins taking a challenge here, using a challenge, but it's the 4th run of the inning regardless.
Watch Sano right here when he comes in to field it. You got to barehand that ball. It's not going that fast. By the time he exchanged it from the glove to his hand, that allows 1 or 2 steps for Engel, and that makes this a very close play at first.
Well, on that replay, it looked like maybe the ball was secured before the foot hit the bag. But we will see. It's a 4-run inning. It's just a question of whether that's the second out or whether there's a runner at first with 1 out.
You're right. Brian gets in that short hop, and he keeps it at the heel of his glove, and he has control of it right there.
Big inning for the White Sox. They have at least 4 singles and 4 runs, and they might have a bunt single, and it was a suicide squeeze with the runner Anderson coming in from third. A nightmarish inning for the Twins, and out is the call. And it's less of a concern for Engel because he'll get credit for a sacrifice and a run batted in. He just happened to have a hit taken away.
Well, it was nicely executed by Engel, too. I mean, just he had to make contact. He had to make sure he hit it on the ground because Anderson was coming in hard. So high fives.
He should get high fives from each side. Absolutely. Base is empty. 2 down, and now Charlie Tilson facing Presley. 2 runs charged to Odorizzi, 2 runs charged to Presley. And there's still a 3rd out to get. Outside corner, strike 1. The biggest lead of the night. The White Sox lead of 3 right now. One and one. No win for Odorizzi tonight. 2 and 1.
Yeah, Odorizzi's line, 5+ innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned. Walked, 7 strikeouts. Ended up throwing 99 pitches.
2 and 2.
So Jake is still a pitcher record.
If the Twins can change that starting in the bottom of the 6th.
Right.
2 and 2 to Tilson. And strike 3 is called, but the White Sox put together a good inning. They ping the ball around, get 4 hits and 4 runs. The #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. By Grant Casino, the best stories start here. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. We'll see if in some strange way the 4 spot that the White Sox put up will wake up the Twins lineup. Sano, Grossman, and Garver. Well, the Twins will try to get something done against the Chicago bullpen.
Yeah, Bruce Rondeau in the first one out. He worked in last night's ball game. A 3rd of an inning, he did give up a hit, an RBI single to Escobar, a double actually. But prior to that, he did strike out Sano, making his 21st relief appearance. Hard-throwing right-hander.
Drill foul by a couple feet. 1 strike. Sano called out on strikes in the first. He took 3 pitches, 4 strikes. And then in the 3rd, he went after the first pitch, shattered his bat, and wrapped into a double play. Now to the right field corner, chased by Thompson, and he's there to make the catch, one away. Odorizzi gave the Twins 5 good innings, but then he started the 6th and gave up a couple of hits.
Yeah, just too many pitches. Again, 99 pitches in 5+ innings. And Hector Santiago, he really struggled through it, but he was able to get the big outs when he needed it, especially in the 2nd inning when the Twins had the first 3 runners on base, scored only 1 run. He worked out of it.
Here's Grossman, now hitting as a left-handed batter. Outside, ball 1. Grossman led off the 2nd with a single and scored, and hit a fly ball to left leading off the 4th. At the end of the bat. 1-1. Taylor Rogers warming up. Strike taken, and it is 1-2. Quick pitched him, and he hits the corner. 2 down. And that'll bring up Garver.
Yeah, the big man very quick out there. Picks up a strikeout. Just did not fare too well for Rendon in Detroit.
Breaking ball on the outside corner. Garver doubled to left in the 2nd and then hit a fly ball to left in the 4th. Strike 1. Down and away, 1-1. Zach Duke joining Rogers in the bullpen. A little flare to right, and that'll drop for a base hit. Garver will take it, a 2-out single, and that'll bring up Adrianza.
Garver picks up his 2nd hit.
This is your chance to play catch at Target Field. Join us for a fun, family-friendly event following the Twins game against the Angels Saturday afternoon, June 9th. Purchase your Catch on the Field tickets today at twinsbaseball.com/catchfield. Not only sounds like fun, great photo opportunity with moms and dads and sons and daughters playing catch on the field. Here is Adrianza. Down and away, ball 1. Adrianza with a pair of doubles. Off the center field fence in the 2nd to drive in a run. And a 2-out double down the left field line, scoring a run moments later in the 4th.
Goes as a right-handed hitter.
Strike on the outside corner.
Rendon, 27 years old, signed as a free agent by the White Sox over the winter out of Venezuela.
Half swing. Strike 2.
It's a slider right there. Also a good changeup along with that power fastball he has.
Very high at 98 in terms of location and velocity. Very high.
Well, one time the Tigers thought he was going to be their next closer. Just didn't pan out for him.
A strikeout of Adrianza on the breaking ball. We head to the 7th with the White Sox up 5-2.
Early lead, a 1-0 lead. Adrianza's RBI double. That in the 2nd inning. And Lamar adding a run, RBI with an RBI base hit in the 4th. But in the 4-run 6th inning, Tim Anderson with a couple runners on. A big 2-run single in that 4-run 6th inning.
The Twins, who won a couple of ball games, the last 2 wins, in fact, have occurred in their last at bat. Hope not to wait that long. Taylor Rogers' job is to keep this a 5-2 game.
Yeah, Taylor worked at game 2 of yesterday's ball game. Worked 1 shutout inning through 11 pitches, 7 for over the plate, and he had a couple strikeouts, making his 26th relief appearance.
Thompson, Moncada, and Sanchez will bat. Ball 1. Thompson with a single and a fly ball to left. And over the inside corner, 1-1. One and 2.
Good hard breaking ball there from Taylor Rogers. Basically fastball, changes speeds on that curveball. Trevor Hildenberger warming up.
It's Thompson, then a couple of switch hitters who are better from the left side than the right side. So that's why Rogers gets the call here in the hopes that he can get Thompson and then have the advantage in the Moncada and Sanchez plate appearances.
And Hildenberger, I think, getting up in case Abreu gets up this.
Right. 2-2. And a foul ball. Just barely got a piece of it to stay alive. Two and 2 from Rogers to Thompson. Just got a piece of it, stuck the bat out, made contact. Rogers reaching back for 95 miles per hour.
Go back to another fastball away.
He got him. Thompson strikes out. Now the switch hitters will bat.
Taylor Rogers looked like that ball had a little sink on it. Picks up his 23rd strikeout in 24 innings pitched.
Replay brought to you by Carrier. One down, and now Moncada. Three strikeouts so far. Two looking. Both of those fastballs up and in from the other side of the plate. And a breaking ball, strike one. As we've lauded Escobar's season, let's include this too. He's been equally dangerous from the left and right side. That's not true for the next two batters. Moncada hitting just 176 from this side of the plate, and Sanchez hitting about 75 points less from the right side than the left side. So Escobar has done a great job, but he came into the game hitting 276 right-handed and 281 left-handed.
You can see the power coming as a left-handed hitter for Moncada.
One and one. Out in front. As we've mentioned a number of times, Rogers typically has struggled against right-handed batters. The difference this year is his left-handed batting averages. That's 3 times Moncada's telling him the pitch was up and or in, and you rung me up 3 times. 2 down.
Yeah, Rick Renteria going out there to make sure that his second baseman stays in the ball game. The curveballs and then the fastball.
Well, that was borderline, literally borderline, right on the border of the strike zone. 2 strikeouts for Rogers, and now Sanchez. Sanchez started the 4-run 6th with a leadoff single against Odorizzi. By innings end, the White Sox got 3 more singles and 4 runs, ran the bases well, strike 1. Had a squeeze play in there. And a strike. 0-2. Fastball missing inside. 1-2. And Rogers probably knows this too. Sanchez is his last batter. Wildenberger's had a chance to warm up. In fact, he is warmed up.
Yeah, that Trevor start next inning.
Fly ball right field, hit lazily toward Kepler, and it's a good inning for Taylor Rogers. A 1-2-3, top of the 7th.
Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. Here's a North Dakota box score, and the Twins haven't done much, and what they've gotten done has been done by the bottom of the lineup.
Right, 7 hits for the Twins, and 6 of those coming with Grossman and Garver and Adrianza and Lamar. So maybe the top will do a better job this inning.
See what Lamar can get done against Bruce Rondon. With the Twins hitting now in the 7th inning, down 3. There's a fastball and strike 1. Lamar with an RBI single his last time up. Poked a single to right, just out of the reach of Moncada. Down and in, missing. Maybe the word's out that Lamar kind of likes the ball out over the plate, particularly with a hard fastball. Goes the other way. They're trying to work him over inside. Now setting up outside for a breaking ball, and it's 1-2. And one upstairs, and a foul tip, and Smith hangs on. Lamar's gone on strikes, 1 away.
And Rondon picking up his 3rd strikeout in relief. Good high fastball.
Yeah,
a little cutter, slider, and a hug.
1 down, and Dozier will bat. Dozier 0 for 3. A strikeout, a comebacker to the mound, and a fly to left. And he takes up high. Talked earlier about from the opening day lineup, there are only 5 players that play regularly for the Twins, and Paul Molitor has bunched them up to the top. Dozier, Rosario, Escobar, Kepler, and Sano. And those 5 hitters have 1 hit so far. Unrealistic, I think, to expect Rosario and Escobar to continue to carry the club offensively. Now it's time for the Doziers and Sanos to step up. Chase Fry warming up, and the count is 3-0 to Dozier. And a strike, 3-1.
That 3-run lead, no extra, don't want to walk anybody, so I'm sure Rondon, Smith is going to sit away, fastball away again, pretty much right down the heart of the plate.
And a breaking ball, strike 2. Dozier ready to unbuckle the shin guard and go to first. .23 pitches for Rondon.
Part of the top of the strike zone.
And finally, Dozier draws the walk, and the Twins have a runner with 1 out, and now Rosario will bat. 2018 Camping World MLB All-Star Ballot is now open and exclusively online. Make sure your favorite Twins are represented on this year's team by voting at twinsbaseball.com/vote. Catch all the excitement of the 89th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 17th from Washington, D.C. live on Fox. Rick Renteria to the mound, and he will make a change, and he'll bring Fry in to pitch to Eddie Rosario. Twins trying to build an inning here after the 1-out walk. And Rondon gets a pat on the chest from Renteria.
presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Chase Fry has done a nice job for the White Sox. He has a whip of 1 through 14 innings, 7 hits and 7 walks.
Yeah, making his 15th relief appearance. Started down in AAA, got called up by the White Sox on May 4th. Came up a little bit last year, made 11 appearances last year. Young man who went through the Tommy John surgery a couple years ago.
Here is Rosario. Escobar on deck. Time called. Twins got a run in the second, 1 in the fourth. Now trying to take advantage of Rondon's 1-out walk in the 7th. Breaking ball over for a strike.
Yeah, Rosario faced Fry in game 2 last night. And he got a base hit off of him after Fry walked Grossman, the first batter he faced.
Lifted foul. Fastball at 92, and it's 0-2. Jones warming up. Outside, smothered by Smith.
Fry, just 24 years old, signed by the White Sox, their number 3 pick in 2014 out of Oregon State.
Where the Twins' number 1 draft pick was taken out of, Trevor Larnach. You saw the walks. It's been an issue for Fry. Got ahead of Rosario 0-2. Now it's 2-2. Dozier's already reached base because of a walk.
Yeah, 7 walks in 14 innings pitched. Rosario last night got a breaking ball that stayed up, and he hit one into right center like that. Well,
this one hit right at the center fielder angle. Ball kicked around, no place for Dozier to go. 2 down, and that'll bring up Escobar. Escobar with a double. An attempt, a bid for a double, but Engel cut it off in the gap, and then he drew a walk in the 5th. It's one of the reasons I think Escobar, in addition to the production, is hitting typically 4/3 today. Because he is balanced as a switch hitter. He's a threat regardless whether they bring in the left-hander Fry or leave Rondon in there or Soria. Check swing and a called strike. So you'd like to hope that that continues and the Twins return to health and get Mauer back, and Morrison certainly, hopefully in the next day or two. One and one. Outside 2-1. As a right-handed batter. Of course, there are fewer opportunities because there are fewer left-handed pitchers, but he's got 4 doubles and a couple of home runs. Two and one. And a foul. 2-2. Won the game for the Twins with a 3-run home run over the center field fence.
That in game 1. Final score in that ball game 4-2 thanks to the home run.
2-2 to Escobar. 3-2, and Smith controls the skip. And now Dozier will take off here with 2 down. If Escobar reaches, Kepler would come up as the tying run.
Watch Smith right here get his body in front of it, dead in the ball. Looks like Abreu is going to hold Brian on.
Full count to Escobar. And that's a foul ball. Dozier taking off, of course.
I think Escobar has fouled out more balls than any Twins hitter. No, I mean, you know, that's a good thing. Because sometimes a pitcher, you make a good pitch, and you know, when a guy's swinging good, he'll foul it off until he sees enough pitches, you're going to make a bad pitch.
And there's ball 4, so now Kepler will come up as the tying run. Fry with 1 home run allowed in 14 innings. Kepler went 0 for 1, hit into a double play. He walked twice against the lefty Santiago. Check, swing, but strike 1.
Curveball right there to get ahead. Four of Kepler's, yes, home runs have come as a left-hand against a left-handed pitcher.
Impressive when you consider there have only been 11 home runs hit by the whole team against a lefty. Rosario's hit 3 of them. So that gives you some idea why the Twins have struggled against left-handers. They've hit 11 home runs against left-handed pitching, and 7 of them have come from 2 left-handed batters, only 4 by righties. Swung on and missed, and it's 1-2. Brian Dozier's hit 1 home run. Excuse me. Yeah, 1. And then Escobar, the switch hitter, with 2. And Sano has hit 1 home run against a lefty. Smith will get a little extra time after this foul ball. Right now saying, well, at least that happened to me in the big leagues. Because it happens to you in the minor leagues too. Was called up a couple days ago. And C.B. Buckner, I think, allowing Smith to make a trip to the mound and monitoring the conversation and not charging the White Sox with a mound visit. It's just a humanitarian gesture. So, and they may have done it frankly at Buckner's request. 1-2 to Kepler. 2 men out there. Twins love to get something out of this here in the 7th. Swung on and missed, and Fry strikes out Kepler, and the Twins strand 2 and still trail by 3.
Let's go in the way back machine. 14 years ago, June 6, 2004, Joe Mauer hit his first major league home run. It came at the Metrodome against Esteban Yan and the Tigers in a 6-5 Twins win.
Joe pulling that one over the baggy in right center field. I'd forgotten that. We go to the 8th inning with the White Sox up 5-2, and Trevor Hildenberger will come on and try to keep this score the same and give the Twins hitters hopefully a chance to come back here against the rest of the Chicago bullpen.
Yeah, 28th relief appearance for Trevor. 30 innings pitched, 6 walks, 3 intentional with 24 strikeouts. And opponents hitting only .216 off of Trevor.
And he'll face Abreu, Davidson, and Smith in the 8th. And there's strike one. Hildenberger with an opponent batting average of .216. The walks are in line. 5 home runs have been an issue. Swing and a miss.
Good change up there.
Two strikes. Lifted to short right. Kepler has a long run, but he is there for the catch in fair territory, 1 away. And now Matt Davidson will bat 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. White Sox out hitting the Twins 8-7, and yet lead by 3. Fastball, strike one.
Boy, you look back at this game in the second inning, bottom of the second, Twins had a chance to do some damage against Santiago, but able to score only 1 run.
You go single, double, double, you should get more than 1 run out of that. One and 1 to Davidson. Bounded foul. There's a White Sox team has come into this series on a small high note. They took 2 out of 3 from the Brewers, who have the best record in the National League. So yeah, Rick Renteria has seen some signs of hope for the future, but still 20 games below the 500 mark. Scooped out of the dirt by Garver. 2-2.
I think what we've seen in this game and in the 2 games yesterday is a young ball club that when they get on first base, they're thinking and getting in the scoring position. You know, a lot of stolen bases. They've stolen 2 bases here tonight.
Tigers are playing the same way, very aggressive on the bases. Swing and a miss. Oh, foul tip, and the at bat still alive. Tigers lost to the Red Sox 7-1. Right now, anyway, the Tigers and Twins are essentially tied. 4.5 games behind Cleveland. Missing, and now it's 3-2.
Fastball away.
Spanked to right field, drilled hard, and it will go all the way to the wall, and Lamar will fire it towards second, and Davidson has a double with 1 out in the 8th.
Davidson picking up his first hit. Good piece of hitting right there by Davidson. Ball away.
Down in a way.
Yep. And he just went with it. So Davidson with his 7th double of the year. Goes with 1 out here in the 8th inning.
Smith with a pair of singles his last 2 times up. Half swing, but did he go? Strike 1, says first base umpire Chris Conroy, who will have the plate tomorrow. Noontime game tomorrow. And of course, we'll have it on TV.
They're going to pinch run for Davidson at second base.
It'll be Jose Rondon going to run for Davidson. So Rondon will take over in the DH spot. Davidson leaves the ball game. And the count's 1 strike to Kevin Smith. High fly left field. Rosario back, drifting back, and on the track he drops the ball, and Rondon will advance to third, and the throw going to second. And Rosario dropping the ball on the warning track. It should have been the 2nd out of the inning. And the Twins have not been sharp the last couple ball games, and that's a perfect example.
Yeah, Rosario went back, and I think what he tried to do was catch it and throw it all at one time, get it back into third base. He sees the ball. He opens up his glove. And then right there kind of closed his eyes. The ball hit the top of the glove, got away. It'll be an error on Rosario, his 5th of the year.
Twins haven't run the bases well. They haven't fielded well. And now Garvin Alston trying to encourage Hildenberger here with Tim Anderson at the plate. And the White Sox have some speed at third. There's 1 out. And I've already seen the White Sox execute the suicide squeeze once successfully. Well, that might have been part of the conversation with Alston going to the mound here as well. Rondon's at third, and Smith is at second. And the Twins are shortening up the infield here with 1 down.
Tim Anderson, a couple of hits. He's driven in 3 of the 5 runs.
Swing and a foul. And he's got a piece of garbage. One strike to Anderson. 2 strikes. And this might be a time for Hildenberger to reach back for his semi-secret weapon, the overhand fastball.
The way he swung at that breaking ball right there, you almost have to come back with it again.
That's what you said in the 6th inning, and he got another breaking ball and got a 2-run single.
But Presley left it up.
Yeah. 0-2.
Like
and
that.
There it is.
See?
Better pitch, 2 down. And now Adam Engel.
And Hildenberger picking up a big strikeout. Anderson wants to swing. Good walk punch.
Engel dropped down the bunt. Almost got a bunt single. But instead a suicide squeeze, scoring the 4th run of the 6th inning. Breaking ball gets a swing and a miss from Engel.
It's like a frisbee. It just keeps spinning away from you.
And because of the effectiveness of that breaking pitch, and he can throw 92 to 94 miles per hour. If he stays healthy, I think Trevor Hildenberger is going to pitch for a long time. It is such a deceptive delivery that he has, and he gets a lot of swings and misses. That's a pretty good combo for a long career. There's the overhand fastball, and he missed. Now that's 94 miles per hour. That you have to respect that, right?
I know in spring training is working on a breaking ball from up there too, but he just hasn't found the right formula yet for that. So when he does go over the top more 9 out of 10 times, it's that fastball.
On the breaking ball, and Engel could only hit it foul.
And the thing is, it's 78 miles an hour, so a lot of hitters are way out front, and that's all you can do is hit it foul.
So that's as good as a swing and a miss in that situation.
Right.
This is a big at bat. Twins are down 3, and it's going to be tough sledding as it is here with only 2 innings worth of at bats. There are 2 runners out there in scoring position. Inning should be over with. And Hildenberger can pick up Rosario in the whole Twins dugout if he can get Adam Engel. Shake-offs, and now finally agreement. And there it was again at 95, the overhand curve or fastball, and Engel took it for ball 3. Tilson on deck. Garver's going to go ahead and use a trip to the mound here. Twins have 4 left. They'll use 1 here. May as well, because Twins' chances of coming back and winning this game may rest on this at bat. Full count to Engel, and he missed. He walked him, and they're loaded up now for Tilson. A double, an error, and now a walk.
Yeah, a rare walk for Hildenberger, only his 4th unintentional walk.
Tilson with a double and 3 trips. Swing and a miss out in front of the changeup.
You can imagine you tell yourself to stay back, stay back, stay back, and then that 77-mile-an-hour changeup you swing through.
Dribbled up the right side. Sano to Hildenberger, and the inning ends. The White Sox strand 3. We'll see if the Twins can make some noise in the bottom of the 8th.
CenturyLink right after the final out tonight. And we will talk about the Chicago White Sox 4-run 6th inning that broke this game open, and Jake Odorizzi's 5-inning pitch, and the bullpen that followed. And Jack Morris will help explain why Twins pitching just was not as sharp tonight. Plus, we'll hear from Paul Molitor. So Miguel Sano leads off the bottom of the 8th for the Twins, and I talked with Twins hitting coach James Rowson about Sano getting a lot of checked swing strikes lately, and Rowson said there are 2 reasons why. Part of the issue is pitch recognition, just that Sano thinks he sees a fastball, turns out to be a breaking ball, and by the time he realizes that he can't slow the swing up. That second part, though, is that his hands are ahead of the lower part of his body. He's leading with his hands in his upper half, and so it's tougher to stop the swing when he's halfway through. And Rowson said when he leads with the lower half and the legs fire first, he tends to stay back with his hands. He can hold up on that check swing, Dick and Bert.
It's some inside hitting knowledge there, and Sano takes a ball. Now he takes a strike.
Yeah, Nate Jones into the ball game now. He worked in game 1. Remember, the White Sox had a 2-0 lead. Jones pitched the 8th inning and ended up giving up the 4 runs and the 3-run home run to Escobar.
1-1 to Sano, leading off the Twins' 8th. Up a little bit. Sano hooked an RBI single off of Jones in that 8th inning. Then Escobar followed with a 3-run home run. Jones was so close to getting out of the inning. He got the first 2 men, and then there was a ground ball hit to the left side, ruled a base hit for Brian Dozier, and then the roof fell in. 2-1. See, we can say that now that we're in an outdoor ballpark. I couldn't use that cliche when we were at the Metrodome for fear of creating a panic.
Yeah, it might fall in, yeah.
3-1, and the last thing Jones wants to do after having a rough outing in the 8th yesterday in game 1 is to repeat it here tonight.
Well, he has walked 12 in 22 innings.
Fouled off a leg. It's 3-2.
Jones in his 7th season with the White Sox, signed with them back in 2007 out of Northern Kentucky.
Full count to Sano to start the 8th inning. Breaking ball, got it. 1 down.
And Jones picking up his 25th strikeout.
2 strikeouts for Sano tonight. 0 for 4 on the night. And now Robbie Grossman.
Cutter, slider, down and away. Not a good swing by Sano.
Grossman singled and scored in the 2nd, a fly ball to left in the 4th, and he was called out on strikes in the 6th. Outside, ball 1. Down and in, 2-0. Only once today have the Twins gotten their leadoff man aboard, and that was in the 2nd after Grossman's single. Eventually he came around to score on the 2nd of 2 doubles that followed immediately after his single. At the knees, and it's 2-1. Outside corner, and Grossman looks back, shakes his head from side to side at C.B. Buckner. Grossman was called out on strikes his last time up. Got him with an off-speed pitch.
Good breaking ball there. Jones gets the first 2 outs on strikeouts.
Now he'll face Garver. It'll feel good for Jones. But again, the first 2 outs weren't the problem yesterday. Two down, and now Garver with a pair of heads. A double in the second, pulled, and then a pop fly single to right in the 6th. Ball 1. Addison Reed, so he'll get the top of the 9th. Hit hard to right center field, and Thompson in the gap, fills it, makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3/8 for Jones.
Well, you're going to have days like this, you know, in 162 ball games. It's just that they had won 4 in a row, and then, you know, you kind of lost it in game 2 yesterday, and then today, especially against a team you should beat. You want to beat the teams in your division.
It's one thing to get beaten, but it's another to just not play well and get beaten, and that's kind of where the Twins are at tonight, I think. Reed will try to finish off the White Sox and keep the Twins within reach as we would go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Sano muttering to himself. It's been a very frustrating night for him.
Addison Reed making his 29th relief appearance. 10 walks, 2 intentional, 29 strikeouts in the 29 2/3 innings pitched.
Trace Thompson will lead off the 9th for Chicago, and then Moncada and Sanchez. Thompson with a single, stole a base in the 3rd. And a first pitch strike. Reed's had some disappointing outings in a row, giving up a run in each of his last 3 outings. 5 hits, 2 home runs, and the count's 1-1. There's Soria, got the save in the ball game last night, and a strike. 1-2.
Yeah, Reed, 29 years old, originally signed by the Chicago White Sox back in 2010 out of San Diego State. Came up with the White Sox in 2011. Spent 3 seasons with them.
2-2. Moncada on deck.
Fastball slider, that's what you'll get from Addison Reed.
There's a fastball and a swinging strikeout, one away.
The ball looked like it was up the zone a little bit, but Thompson strikes out for the second straight time.
I'm guessing he's going to be swinging throughout this at bat. 3 times in a row he's been called out on strikes by C.B. Buckner. He's not going to let the home plate umpire take the at bat away from him. That's what he thinks happened in his 3rd, 5th, and 7th inning at bats. 1 strike.
Well, get to 2 strikes. I want to find out. See if he'll take a pitch.
Chop to third. Escobar fires across and Moncada can run. It's a good play by Escobar. 2 away. And now Sanchez.
Well, he knew who was running, and he knew he had to get rid of that ball quickly, and Escobar did.
Sanchez singled to start the 4-run 6th inning. And it was a rare inning in that the White Sox scored 4 times without a walk or an extra base hit. They got 4 singles and scored 4 runs. There was a wild pitch, there was a stolen base, there was a squeeze play. And you balance that against the 2nd inning for the Twins, where the inning started with a single, a double, and the Twins got just 1 run with those 5 total bases. And the White Sox scored 4 with 4 total bases in the 6th. And that's why we are where we are. 1-1 to Sanchez. And he left a breaking ball up, and Sanchez fouled it back. 1-2. Reed could use a nice, quick, efficient, clean outing after what's happened the last 3 outings. And foul ball. Sanchez is still alive. Twins due to have 8, 9, and 1 due up. Presumably a bench of Morrison, Wilson, and Petit. Of those 3, I would think Morrison might be the only option. Check swing, and it's 2-2. And then only if someone reaches base, I would guess. Adrianza has a couple of hits. Lamar has 1. Said he had eye black on tonight, so I thought he might be available, whereas yesterday he was not. Dribbled foul. And then you ruined it all by saying you'd put eye black on between your starts.
Sometimes, yeah, on a hot day, sunny day, more during the day than at night.
I should try that.
We could do that tomorrow.
Missed inside. 3-2. Twins don't want to have to face Abreu again, even though he's only gone 1 for 4 with a single. Back to Reed, who snags the first hop and underhands it to Sano. Twins hoping for some 9th inning magic. They're down 5-2. Logan Morrison's on the on-deck circle, and he's going to lead off the bottom of the ninth against Joaquin Soria. Wobbled a little bit, but he got the save last night for the White Sox.
Yeah, and it was a 4-out save. He came into the 8th inning and then retired the Twins in the 9th and pick up his 5th save of the year.
Hit a batter, gave up a hit, but ended up hitting Eddie Rosario to end the ball game. It'll be Morrison, then Lamar and Dozier, and then the Twins hope a few more. Find that a bit odd. Soria's been around quite a few years, and Morrison's been around for a while. Chases a high fastball. Morrison unable to play yesterday with a tweak in his back, and sure enough, he cuts loose with a swing and then bends over. One strike to Morrison. Back. And Morrison does not look like he is without pain when he swings the bat. We'll put it that way. 0-2.
Yeah, Soria last night, 19 pitches, 14 for strikes. Morrison 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter.
With the Jackie Robinson gloves he couldn't use yesterday in game 1. In the dirt, and it's 1-2. Soria came in with runners at 2nd and 3rd and 2 down in the 8th, and he got Mitch Garver to strike out. Then he got the first 2 outs of the 9th. Hit Dozier, gave up a single to Grossman. The Twins would like to get some guys on base. If Morrison reaches, he likely will be pinch run for by Petit. And now 2-2.
A couple change-ups missing low.
Had gone 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles, and actually hit the ball hard against Soria last night, lining out to Engel in center. Two and two. And a foul ball off the bat of Morrison. The finish of his swing doesn't look like it is without pain. Trying to get a board here, leading off the 9th inning. Again, the Twins have had their leadoff man on only once. That was back in the 2nd. And Morrison strikes out to start the 9th. And that'll bring up Lamar.
Take a look at the last pitch. Good sinking fastball right there. Morrison swinging through it.
One down, and now Lamar. An RBI single in the 4th, 1 for 3. Lamar popped up to Abreu last night against Soria, and the ball fouled back. And a fastball and a foul back. And Soria is ahead quickly, 0-2.
Mentioned last night with Soria, the Kansas City Royals closer for many years. 209 career saves for Joaquin Soria.
0-2 to Lamar.
Remember, that was a good pickup for Kansas City. He was a Rule 5 player out of the Dodger organization. And they got a good one back in 2007.
It was long gone by the time they were good enough to get to the World Series.
Right.
fouled away.
He missed a couple years due to the Tommy John surgery. He's actually had it done twice. Once back in 2002 and then back in 2011. Missed 2003 and 2012 seasons.
One and two to Lamar. 2-2. And a slow breaking ball gets a strikeout, 2 down.
And it went sidearm and the frisbee type breaking ball that Lamar swings through.
Since Santiago left the ball game, 2 of the 3 outs in every half inning have been strikeouts, and Soria gets strikeouts to start the 9th inning.
Yeah, look at that, dropping down, big curveball.
Dozier trying to reach. He got hit in the back by a Soria pitch with 2 outs in the 9th in a pinch hitting appearance last night. Outside, ball 1. Trying to keep the game alive for Rosario, who will do the same for Escobar if given the chance. 1-1.
25 strikeouts tonight. 13 by the Twins pitchers, 12 by the White Sox pitchers.
Again, 2 each by all the relief pitchers. Wrapped to third, and now Dozier's up there with 2 strikes. One and 2 to Dozier, with he and the Twins down to their last strike. And backhanded nicely. Moncada has no play, and Dozier will get a hit to keep the game alive. And that'll bring up Rosario.
The breaking ball right there. Brian just reaches out and hits it back up the middle. Moncada, who is shading him up the middle, goes to his right. And he realizes he has no chance. So Dozier picking up his first hit.
Now Rosario's hitless in the ball game tonight. Hit a ground ball on the first pitch he saw in the first inning. Ground ball to Abreu. Since then, 3 fly balls to Engel. And a pop-up near the Chicago dugout. And Sanchez tracking it, and that's the end of the ball game. And the White Sox now have won back-to-back games against the Twins. And the best the Twins can do now is split this series with the White Sox after winning the series against the Indians. Tom Hanneman, a quick turnaround. The Twins need to play a better ball game tomorrow.
Yeah, disappointing defeat for the Twins. The White Sox avoid their 40th loss of the season, recording their 20th win of the year. Up next on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. We'll talk about that 4-run surge in the 6th, what the bullpen did tonight, and hear from Paul Molitor.